So East Leake Academy is a secondary school located in Nottinghamshire, and we have students from year 7 all the way up until year 13. Our community thrives on 3 key values. We empower, we respect, and we care. We wanted to use EDClass because we wanted students to remain with us at East Leake Academy, and rather than use traditional forms of alternative provision, we wanted to look at a platform which enabled us to re-engage or reintegrate students within our academy setting. We utilise EDClass in lots of different ways. So we utilise EDClass for diagnostic assessments. When students transition into our alternative curriculum, we want to find a bit of a baseline about where they're at, particularly with their core subjects. So Joe has a rare medical condition, and that meant that he was outside of education for over a year.
I stopped going to school because towards the end of February I started noticing symptoms of a rare condition called myasthenia gravis, which is a muscle weakness condition where you progressively get tired throughout the day. That would mean I couldn't walk as far, I couldn't talk much because I'd slur, so I stopped going to school. About a year later I was slowly starting to come back to school. EdClass has helped me kind of keep the skills that I needed, so when I'm back at school I'll have some sort of idea what I'm doing.
Joe was completely removed from everything, his friends, family, it was a very difficult time for him. With EdClass, it really helped with the transition back to school for many sort of different reasons. I think the main one being a routine for Joe, giving him something to do, going from having an everyday routine then to having nothing for well over a year. To put Joe back in full-time education mentally, I think would have been a very sort of big step for Joe. So EdClass, with that transition and its flexibility, it just seemed to be a brilliant way to help Joseph and integrate.
EdClass has helped me reintegrate back into school by helping me with my confidence and building my skills back up and making sure I'm smart enough to understand what's going on in the lessons.
Joseph has been sort of confident all the way through, even in his darkest days, but you do see some aspects of nervousness around, integrating back into education. I think his nervousness around how he was also seen online, because, he's quite a sort of happy-go-lucky child, but he wanted still to think that actually he's doing his best.
I feel quite safe on there because if I need to, I've got an alert button, so if I need to, say I've got a medical emergency, I can just press a button. And if I go for a break or something, you kind of have to say, oh, go for a break, or you can go to the toilet. They check in the morning if you're there, and if you don't respond, they'll contact your school, who will then contact your parents or you.
From attendance perspective, with that amount of time off, it's enabled Joe to significantly increase his attendance, not only online to be able to get those attendance marks, it's also been supportive for that reintegration plan back into face-to-face education.
I don't think there are any words though he used to say how proud we all are of him, as he's been through this.
I would absolutely recommend EdClass simply because of the flexibility of the platform, the support provided, and above all, the safeguarding procedures built into the platform.
I can recommend EdClass because of it's helped me when I've not been at school for a year.
Without EdClass, I think he wouldn't be as far on as he is now, because he had that transition, he had that attainment, and he had those lessons to keep him up to speed with where we are. So, yeah, 110% recommend EdClass.